Yo, what's going on, everyone? Austin Smith from HoopSeen here again, checking in for another update. As you can see, I'm joined right now with our vice president here at HoopSeen.com, Tai Young, and also our newly appointed program preview camp director, Coach Darryl LaBarrie. And we've got an update for you guys because the travel ball season has officially ended, but now it's time for us to go ahead and segue into our preview camp series. And who better than to have Tai and Coach LaBarrie here with us today to go ahead and get the ball rolling. Fellas, first off, man, how are you guys feeling? We just finished up a crazy season. Tai, you had a ton of work going on. Coach LaBarrie, you were coaching during the season. How these last 2 weeks been for you guys?
Can I speak for both of us, Coach?
Yes, you can.
Exhausted.
Exactly.
July was exhausting, man. I mean, from our perspective, running 3 convention center events was huge in terms of the platform and what we were able to do for kids across the country. But, obviously with that, man, you put some wear and tear on your shoes and your phone and back pains that you didn't know was there from walking around from court to court, all that type of stuff, man. But ultimately, great July. It was busy. It was fun. But, we had a chance to get some rest, but it's time to get back to it.
No doubt.
I'll piggyback off what Ty said, man. It's exhausting from a coach's standpoint as well. I have a totally different respect for AAU coaches now having gone through it for a full season. I did it before a long time ago, but it was with the young guys. I think I had 12 and under back then. When you got the older guys, as far as picking guys up, getting guys to practice, taking teams to different events, being out of town, making sure guys got meals with everything going on with COVID, washing uniforms. I have a totally different respect. I enjoyed the experience, and I think I actually learned a lot from a coaching standpoint. It was great for me. But I think I'm hanging up my AAU coaching shoes. I'm one and done. I enjoyed it, but it's time to move on, and I'm ready to get back into the camp scene.
Good deal. Good deal. Well, Coach, let's go ahead and get right to it, man. First off, again, congratulations to you in the season, man. Y'all did really well, and we're excited to have you all this summer. But, Coach, I think it's pretty funny, too, that you can add that to your resume. And for people that don't know, man, Coach LaBarrie has an incredible track record coaching at the Division I level. And then you can add this past year's AAU season to that track record as well. And I'm excited, and I know we at HoopSeen are excited to have you, Coach, this year as our preview camp director. So I want to talk to you. Just tell us a little bit, man, what are you looking to accomplish with this year's slate of preview camps that we've got with HoopSeen?
You guys really align with my philosophy and my thoughts on camps as far as let's get some individual instruction in, teach guys something. You want them to leave with 2 or 3 things that they didn't know coming into camp. And then obviously the big piece is another opportunity to get evaluated, write some reports up, give information out to college coaches and give them exposure. Exposure is a huge piece of it, and I think that's what a lot of the kids are coming for. I think what you guys and what I also would like for them to do is to leave a better player and have a better mindset or approach to the game. And then maybe, pick up a couple things here and there that can help them be better players this season coming up.
Nah, without question, Coach. And I think as you've seen in the past, man, that's been a big goal of ours at HoopSeen. And we know that having you a part of that staff and bringing that wealth of knowledge you got, the instruction that you have, that's going to make the camp experience better for all the players that will be in attendance. So, yeah, Coach, I'm right on there with you on that. Tai, let's talk to you for a quick second because, as always, we look to continue setting that bar higher and higher. Let's talk the preview camp schedule. We know we've got a ton of different stops. Let's go through that rundown with you real quick, Tai.
Yeah, so it's simple this year. We've got 9 camps spread out across 6 different states. So obviously we take care of home. We've got multiple camps here in Georgia. We branch out to South Carolina, North Carolina, Alabama, Tennessee, and the new one for us is Kentucky. And I'd even say, Florida at some point be on the lookout for us to come in the spring. It's our most aggressive schedule. It's an opportunity for us to really go into other people's backyards and as a give back, so to speak, for all those teams that routinely come to us throughout the spring and summer. So again, man, I'm excited about it. It's our biggest event slate in terms of camps to date. Our writers are in place. There'll be the guys who are really headlining for this upcoming season. So again, man, I'm ready to kind of shake the dust off from this layover and get back to it.
Yeah, good deal. I agree with that, Ty. And let me say this too. I heard you say something at the end of that statement. The writers at HoopSeen will be kind of the ones who were headlining the camp as far as organizing it. And for those of you who don't know, we've got an incredible amount of writers here at HoopSeen staff.
Yeah.
We've got guys like Justin Byerly, Brianna Patton, Josh Tech, DeCortland Christian, a bunch of staff members, but they'll be the ones who will be kind of running getting the camp situated and players and all that stuff for this year's preview camps. And I think that's a great way to use that, Ty, because who better than the people who've been evaluating these players during the entire travel ball season to now help them organize the camp in the corresponding cities. And
exactly. No, you're right. I mean, ultimately, our preview camp series is about connecting players to coaches.
Yeah.
And so while you look at like you mentioned those people, the Josh Sacks, the Brianna Patton, and Justin Byerly. I took his scouting service back when I was coaching. DeCortland and all these different guys who are a part of what I think is the best, group of content providers in the country. It gives them an opportunity to kind of further their relationships, have those conversations with players in terms of getting them to camp. They're able to find out more about, the players' offers and interests on the court, but also their interests, off the court, which I think kind of gives them the ability to learn more about them as people and players. So yeah, I'm really excited for those guys. It gives them a chance to spread their wings a little bit and really take ownership of the platform and continue to build their own personal brand as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, moving along, let's talk about the purpose of the preview camp, because we want to make sure that obviously these players can understand why you should be a part of a HoopSeen preview camp. We know as staff members, hey, you should get to this camp for specific reasons, but just for all the players and parents who will be watching, and we can go with you first, Ty, again, if that's fine. Let's just talk about the purpose of this preview camp and why players should register for this series of camps.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately it's about getting connected. It's about playing in front of the Darryl LaBarries of the world, who, is coached at a high level, who, like you said, a wealth of knowledge, who can tell you the ins and outs of the game, and who obviously when he picks up the phone and talks to other people within the profession, they're going to listen to some of the things that he's done within the game of basketball. It's about playing in front of, again, I think about some of our past camp coaches, Doug Bird and Cabral Huff, and my guy who was at Haberstram Central now at Longwood. Those were camp coaches where if you're just a high school kid, you may not think that much. They're just, your coach at the time, but then you look up a year later and now they're at the collegiate level. Yeah. So ultimately it's about getting exposure. It's about those scouting reports that LaBarrie mentioned, but ultimately we really try to push you to get better during that 8-hour window that we have. I know me and LaBarrie, we talk a lot about our camp plan as if we're getting ready to, put together a practice plan for the NCAA tournament. So there's a lot of things that go into it, but ultimately we just want to make sure you get better while you're in our care. But, obviously when you leave there, you've played in front of enough people to where we can try to connect you to college coaches.
Good deal. Coach LaBarrie, how about you?
Just to piggyback on what Ty said, Ty covered a lot of it. I think a lot of it is to get you better. Have a structured plan in place where you can kind of touch on different aspects of your game, whether that's defensive shell drill, whether that's, shooting, whether that's ball handling, so that you get to touch on some things that you might not normally work on a day-to-day basis from some high-level coaches, whether they're high-level high school coaches or guys who are, have their plans and their track is on the way to being college coaches, which again can be beneficial to you in the future so you can get better. And then, have some type of game structure that's a little bit more organized, where we can kind of see you play, run sets, defend in different situations. And also usually we throw in some kind of situational thing so we can get a feel for your IQ. All of these things help us with our evaluation, but more importantly, hopefully they help you become a better player, be better for your high school team, and then be better for your college program as you move forward.
Yeah, Coach. Also, go ahead, Ty.
Yeah, also, if you don't mind, there's one thing Coach said that really made me want to bring up this point as well, is this isn't a cookie cutter camp. And what I mean is, everything is tailored to the specific type of players that we're going to have, which ultimately, if you're there, we're looking at you as somebody that's serious about, playing at the next level. And so this isn't a camp where you show up, couple drills, couple games, meaningless, and you out the door. I mean, our guys there are told to coach you as if you're their own. Yep. And so, there's a lot of situations where, There'll be a parent who's mad at the way one of our coaches is getting after their kid or about shot selection or whatever the case may be. And, those things are going to happen at our camp. It's about serious prospects. We're there to take care of your kid. But ultimately, we want to make sure that we're pushing them in a way that their high school coach is going to do so in the next couple of weeks as guys start to practice and all that good stuff. And definitely those guys at the next level whose life depends on how their kids, progress on the court. So, no, if you come to camp, we definitely want you to know that you're there to compete and ultimately get after it.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree 100% on that. And then even going back to Coach LaBarrie and I'm not trying to gas you up, Coach. I'm just speaking facts here. You know what college coaches look for. You've made the scouting reports. You've made the practice plans. So for you being our preview camp director, there's a different edge that players will benefit from you headlining that camp and helping the players understand the different concepts and things of that nature. Coach, if there's just one thing off the top of your head or one skill set or even IQ thing that players can benefit from the camp, what in your eyes would be one that's really important?
I mean, we'll set the tone early with the, pre-game or pre-camp speech and kind of give you some ideas and ideologies of what the real deal, what college coaches are looking for versus what people, have the conceptually in their mind what college coaches are looking for.
Right.
So the main thing that in a camp setting we want you to know is if you come in and score a bunch of points and take a bunch of bad shots, that's not going to impress anyone. It doesn't impress anyone at AAU. It doesn't impress anyone in high school. College coaches are looking for guys who know how to play with other good players, play the game the right way, make the right decision, and make winning plays. So that's what we're going to be looking for. That's what we're going to stress. And that's the way our camp coaches will coach throughout the camp.
Man, I love it. Y'all got me ready to sign up, man. At 26, man, I'm about to sign up myself. But okay, man, I appreciate that insight, fellas. Man, this is gold. And for all of you parents and players watching, this is why you want to be a part of this camp. You want to be in this environment to help improve your game, to improve your IQ, to put yourself in a situation to succeed. Todd, one last thing, man, and this is just between the two of you all as well. Would there be anything else new for us to know about going into the camp series this year?
In terms of what's new, the camp that I'm most excited about is probably our HoopSeen W preview camp. We started getting into women's basketball last season. I thought it was really good to kind of lay down those building blocks. But now that we have another year to kind of further prepare for that, we're going to start with the camp towards the back end of our preview camp schedule. Alexis is our director for that. She's been great in terms of really getting that launch for us this past season. That's what I'm most excited about. I think there's a need for it in the space. I think that our platform lends well for really getting involved with those student athletes, and I think ultimately we're going to do it right.
Yeah,
I've watched women's basketball. I enjoy watching it, but I'm not the guy who's an expert on it by any means. I'm not an expert in the boys' side, let alone the women's side. And so, we realized a while back if we were going to do it, we need to make sure we put the women in place that really are entrenched in it and know the game and the ways to go about it. And so I'm happy with the staff we have in place with it. I think it'll be a great thing for us this upcoming season. And I think we'll have a really good turnout. In terms of what's new on the men's side, we're working with OST 24/7 again. I know we're all familiar with those guys. They're great people, great behind the lens. They'll be doing some camera work for us throughout the year to provide players with different highlight tapes. Brandon Anthony, he's on board with us again this season. He'll be doing some different graphics and, all those things are available for parents and players. So again, we want to make sure that you have a great experience at camp. You're getting coached up, you're taking some things away. But again, in terms of, whether it be drills or, different tidbits for us to catch up on, we want to make sure that we're providing you with the exposure in terms of the social media and write-ups and graphics, highlights, the whole nine. We want you to basically be a one-stop shop for you guys. So that's one thing that's new, and you can find those things on the events page.
Man, hot right there, bro. I mean it. All right, fellas. Well, look, man, I appreciate y'all's time and stopping by. I think this is very informative again for all the players out there and parents who definitely should be a part of this HoopSeen preview camp series. Man, I'm excited. We got everything from the HoopSeen W to the instruction the players get to having OST being there, man. This camp series continues to get better and better. And then again, Todd, thank you, man. And Coach LaBarrie, thank you again for y'all's time investing into these players. Well, everyone, hey, thanks again for tuning into this Hoop Scene Preview Camp Series update. Go ahead and get ready. You can get registered at hoopscene.com/events. We'll have the information up there for you guys very soon, so make sure you get registered in your corresponding cities. We look forward to seeing you. Ty, Coach LaBarrie, thanks again for y'all's time.
Thank you.
Thank you.